very pleasant good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. How y'all doing? Here on this beautiful Friday, February 2nd, my name is Bruce Dickey. This is our weekly Take the Points version of the show where we talk sports and where we'll talk football today, a little bit of football, as well as talk a little bit about high school basketball we're going to talk about today. We're also going to talk a little bit about college basketball, NFL football, all kinds of different things to talk to you about today. Here on Big Talk with Bruce Dickey, you may not be watching this at 9 in the morning. You may be watching this at our new added time at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Either way you're getting this, I appreciate it, as we're going to have a lot of fun today here on Big Talk. Just me today here on the Take the Points show, as the other seat, as you see, is empty. The fellas had work commitments to do today. They couldn't get up here, so that's fine. We'll have a lot of fun talking things over. It's kind of, now I hate to say it. I do kind of hate to say it. It is a little bit of a dead week anyway, right? I mean, the week between the Super Bowl and the AFC and the NFC championship games and the Super Bowl, it's a dead weekend for anyway. There's even no hockey this weekend. We'll get to talk about that in just a second, as it's the All-Star weekend in hockey. They'll have the All-Star in basketball here in 2 or 3 weeks. It's a slow weekend. It's a chance for you to maybe sit back and enjoy high school hoops we're going to talk about today, as well as, like I mentioned, college hoops and professional basketball and a little bit of football. It wouldn't be the Take the Points show if we didn't talk a little bit of football. But this is our Friday, February 2nd. What is going on in and around your area today here on this beautiful Friday, February 2nd? Hasn't it dried up just nicely? Mid 40s to 50s every day. Just a gorgeous day. Hope you are getting out and getting a chance to enjoy it if you have the opportunity. Tonight, down in Mill Shoals. Now, I know Mill Shoals isn't in our typical area. However, we do have the grant, and by the way, we got new grants this week here on Wabash, and I don't know if the news has come out yet, if the news releases have come out, but we got more grants coming out. We have many more rural areas that we're going to be able to get to here in the very near future. So if I've told you for years, I've been here 6 years now, and I've been telling you we're coming. I'm still telling you, we're coming. It's coming. So it took a long time for the REA to work. The rural electrification, the TVA, all that stuff took time. It takes time to get fiber to every house. Down in Mill Shoals tonight, at the Mill Shoals Christian Church. They're going to have a big old concert at 6 o'clock this evening. It features, from 6 to 8, it features Andy Avery. He'll be performing gospel and rock. I don't know what kind. I think I read that it was he was doing old-time classic rock and roll, not just Christian rock. So it should be a lot of fun. This ought to be a good time tonight down in Mill Shoals. Again, that's going to be at the Christian Church in Mill Shoals. Everyone is welcome. What else going on up in Effingham tonight? This is a big one. The VFW, they're going to have their own auxiliary meal. They'll be serving pork loin along with mashed potatoes and gravy, as well as a vegetable, dessert, and tea and lemonade. $8 only. Just $8. That's cheap at any price, but you ought to go there and throw more than $8 at them. The meal benefits local food pantries, and you can bring in canned goods. That's why the food, they're only charging $8 for the thing. It's for local food pantries. Bring in canned goods and help out those in need. For every item that you bring in, food pantry you'll receive a ticket for drawings taking place that evening. So the more food items you bring in, the better chance you have of winning on the big draws. That's cool. What else is going on tonight on February 2nd? Out at the Effingham Event Center. This is going to be a big deal. This is it's at the Hall Bar and Patio. That's on West Fayette there in Effingham. Dueling Pianos by Spanky Entertainment. Dueling Pianos. Get ready to step back in time into the era of speakeasies and jazz at the BFS Spring Fundraiser. Immerse yourself in the lively tunes of the Dueling Pianos, which will compete to bring your favorite Prohibition era, as well as any other songs to life. Proceeds benefit the high school class at Buckeye Friends School for their year-end Washington, D.C. educational immersion. I don't know why they're calling it an educational immersion, as opposed to the high school's taking a trip to D.C. I guess they get immersed in whatever's going on in D.C. Maybe they'll go see a baseball game. That'd be fun. I doubt it. Probably going to the Smithsonian and all that stuff, but that'll be a good night. Also on Friday night, good time will be had at a night at the races. This is down in Teutopolis. Join us for a wild, thrilling night at the races where you can cheer on your favorite horses and experiences of excitement firsthand. Support the Ballard Nature Center. This is to support the Ballard Nature Center with a thrilling evening of horse racing and fun at the Teutopolis Banquet Hall in T-Town. Get ready to experience the excitement as you cheer on your favorite horses and jockeys. Whether you're a seasoned gambler, if you're watching this show, you probably might be. And whether you're a seasoned gambler or just looking for a night out with friends, this evening is sure to entertain. Light appetizers will be provided along with a cash bar. And they will have an ATM on site. Grab your lucky charm and go enjoy the night at the race. The doors will open at 5 o'clock, and the first race is at 7. Doors open at 6. First race at 7, and there are going to be 10 races with 12 horses running in each race. Now, I've seen how these work, and they're fun. They're a good time. I think what they usually do is they'll pull horse races from the past, and you might recognize some of the horses. I don't know. That might help your wagering. I don't know how it works, but you're guaranteed just about to have a good time, and that is, again, tonight at the Teutopolis Banquet Center. What else going on this weekend? On Saturday, February 3rd, it is breakfast at the Mount Airy Rowing Club at 6 o'clock. They'll go from 6 to 9. Going to be biscuits as well as sausage, gravy, eggs, hash brown, pancakes, coffee, orange juice. Cost is going to be $7 for adults as well as $3 for children. This is, of course, to help the Mount Airy Rowingtons. You can't go wrong. And if you don't want to go there, by all means, head up the road a little bit. Go to Clay City, the Clay City Sailor Springs American Legion Hall, post 2:30. An hour later, at 7 o'clock, they're going to have their breakfast benefit. It's their monthly benefit, and it goes from 7 to 10. So what I would suggest, start out at Mount Airy at 6 a.m. Enjoy the meal there. You know it's going to be good. Enjoy the meal there. It'd be wonderful. And then head up the street to Clay City, and you'll get up there, get a chance to digest. Get there at 6 o'clock at the first one, get 9:30 at the second one. You've had plenty of time to digest. What are they going to have in Clay City? Sausage, biscuits, gravy, coffee, juice, and milk by donation. Everyone is welcome. It's ways to help out your community. That's wonderful. Also in Salem, the Historic Museum will be open on Saturday. That goes from 9 a.m. to noon. Now, you know where that is. That's right next to City Hall down there, in between City Hall and the theater. So I think there might be a project in the theater this weekend as well, but I can't remember. They didn't send me anything. But that'll be a good time. Also, up in Effingham, now, last week we had the Clay County CEO put on that little mystery thing. That was pretty cool. Go up to Effingham County this weekend on Saturday. The Effingham CEO is hosting Backstage Nashville. Backstage Nashville is a unique hit songwriter show to enjoy right there in Nashville. Music lovers from all over can witness country's greatest hits as well as the stories behind them. They're going to be telling you stories behind the songs, how the songwriters got them going, and that's going to be a lot of fun. You might even hear a song before it becomes a hit on the radio. That'll be a good time. Effingham County CEO would love you to join them on Saturday night. What else is going on, ladies and gentlemen, here on this weekend? February 2nd is National Tater Tot Day. Did you know? Cast-offs for making French fries become the bite-sized nuggets of goodness. This recognizes a kitchen staple. In the United States, we consume approximately how many? Okay, now how many do you think? How many are you guessing? How many tater tots a year are eaten in the United States? I've gone years without eating a tater tot, which, to my shame, to my shame, I've gone years without eating tater tots. I probably went about 20 years without eating a tater tot. There are approximately 3.5 billion tater tots eaten in the United States each year, which tells you a little bit about the potato goodness of tater tots. These bite-sized bits of golden deliciousness created from the scraps of making French fries once were just used to feed cattle. But how do the cast-offs for making French fries become the bite-sized kitchen staple? Kitchen-friendly morsels that we love to devour today through persistence and ingenuity. Two brothers, Neffy and Golden Grigg, along with their brother-in-law, started dabbling in frozen food when they rented a plant in Oregon and Idaho in 1934. They focused on making French fries, but the waste they fed the cattle seemed too much, seemed excessive. Was there a way to reduce the excess? Maybe, but instead they chose to create a product from the excess. Not only did they scrapped and shredded bits form into tiny, tasty bites when blanched and fried, they also fit into their product line too. They froze well and could be baked, were delicious. By 1952, they purchased the plant, forming the Oregon Frozen Foods Company that would later become, you know it, you love it, Ore-Ida. Ore-Ida is a factory on the Oregon-Idaho border that became built on tater tots. How about that? That's pretty cool. How do you observe National Tater Tot Day? Well, throw them in a burrito, maybe. That's a nice way to make them. Also, as well as you could make nachos with them. Create a tater tot buffet with a variety of dips and seasoning. Add them to your burger. Top a homemade pizza. I don't know if I would do all of that, but ladies and gentlemen, yeah, it's a nice way to enjoy February 2nd Tater Tot Day. You know what else? Actually, I don't think you could mix these two, but you know what else is February 2nd? National Bubblegum Day. It says February 3rd, but it's actually February 2nd. It's the 3rd. It's the first Friday of February every year. That has the wrong date on it. First Friday every year doesn't burst many people bubbles. It's a fun way to chew your favorite flavor of bubblegum, blow some spectacular bubbles, and maybe use it to raise money too. As this was formed as a day for kids to help get out and maybe raise money. Long before any substantial chewing gums formed bubbles, ancient human beings chewed bits of resin from trees. All around the world, people collected substances from the available trees and used them for dental care as well as for general enjoyment. It wasn't until 1928, after decades of failure by those before him and several of his own, Walter Deemer created the first bubble-producing gum. His employer, the Fleer Chewing Gum Company, marketed it as Double Bubble. So Double Bubble, the first bubble gum made by Fleer, which now is known more for baseball cards. So Fleer went into the bubble company. They were making bubble gums. Well, it went with bubble gums, baseball cards, and doesn't it all just flow in together beautifully? That's just a beautiful thing. And what's the best way to observe National Bubble Gum Day? Well, grab quarters and go get some bubble gum out of vending machines. How big is the largest bubble ever blown? I think I've done better than this. I think this is an old one. Chad Fell of Haleyville, Alabama, blew a bubble in 2004, April of 2004, 50.8 centimeters, which is 24 inches. Yeah, I've blown bubbles that big. Yeah, that's not that big. That's not that big a deal. But that was at the Double Bubble, a Double Bubble sponsored contest. So I did not do that as part of a contest. So how many calories in one piece of Double Bubble bubble gum? Actually, I like Super Bubble better. I like Super Bubble better than Double Bubble. But 30 calories, approximately 29 to 30 calories in each piece of bubble gum. A little more than I thought. These things, in comparison, these little peppermint stars, they only have 29 or 20. So if you're personally, I like the peppermint stars better, but yeah. To each their own. What else today? Of course, is February 2nd. That makes it, of course, National Groundhog Day. Groundhog Day is February 2nd each year. It asks one question: will the groundhog see his shadow, or will there be 6 weeks more of winter? Traditionally, the groundhog awakens from his nap for a nice welcome break during the winter to see if he can see his shadow. Many believe if the groundhog does see his shadow, there will be 6 more weeks of winter. If this is so, he retreats into his den and goes back to sleep. However, if he does not see his shadow, the groundhog remains outside to play. People celebrate and believing spring is just around the corner. The tradition of predicting the length of the remaining winter is intertwined with the Christian holiday Candlemas. I did not know that. The clergy would bless candles, symbolizing the light of the world, to give their congregations. Another tradition associated with this day is eating crepes. Did you know that eating crepes goes along with Groundhog Day? You didn't? I didn't. I had no idea. As Germans practiced the art of predicting the winter with a hedgehog. Germans use hedgehogs, who knows? When they arrived in the United States, they settled in the hills of Pennsylvania, and the groundhog became the official predictor. Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania has been hosted the National Groundhog Day event for years, and although it is a well-known day, of course, it was in the movie Groundhog Day, but more importantly, how accurate is it? Well, this is from 5 years ago, but in the last 130 years, he has seen his shadow 103 times, meaning 6 more weeks of winter. Not seen his shadow 18 times, which means the spring is on its way. The first early American reference to Groundhog Day can be found in a diary entry by storekeeper James Morris of Berks County, Pennsylvania, in February of 1841. He says, last Tuesday, the 2nd, was Candlemas Day, the day on which, according to the Germans, the groundhog peeps out of his winter quarters, and if he sees his shadow, he pops back in for another 6 weeks nap. But if the day is cloudy, he remains out, as the weather is to be moderate. How about that? What's another word for a groundhog? This is not true. This says groundhogs are also called a woodchuck. Not in my experience. Woodchucks are little small things with the stripes on their head. That's not at all what these look like. Gigantic, large squirrels. You can see groundhogs around the area from time to time. So yeah, where do groundhogs live? Guess what? They live in the ground. How about that? What do you want to see on TV, folks? It's a rodent, by the way. What's on TV? High school basketball tonight. It'll be Woodlawn at Sisney. That'll be on channel 100, and that's at 6 p.m. tonight. I'll be in Sisney for that one. And also then over in Salem, Josh Tate will be doing the Freeburg Midgets at the Salem Wildcats. That's on channel 98. College basketball on CBS Sports Network. Kent State is at Buffalo. That's at 5:30. At 6 o'clock, a doubleheader on ESPN2. St. Bonaventure, the Bonnies versus Dayton, and that's at channel 638. Followed by Toledo at Akron, and finally a triple header on Fox Sports 1. It is Ohio State at Iowa at 6 o'clock. Big Ten Friday basketball. You can't beat that. Butler Bulldogs at Creighton at 8, and followed by San Jose State at Nevada. Those are all on Channel 610. We'll mention San Jose State here again in just a minute. You're watching Big Talk with Bruce Dickey here on Wabash Catch TV. It's our weekly Take the Points edition. I'll be back to talk about high school basketball right after this. Stick around.
When you want an honest deal and hometown service without the runaround, go to Lamont Chevrolet Chrysler in Fairfield. Let Gabe McGahey, Sheldon Bunning, Jeff Black, Dennis Downs, Matthew Rogers, or Caleb Dunn score the best deal for you on your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Parts and service departments with factory-trained technicians and express lane and state-of-the-art tire and alignment technology. Lamont always inspects your battery, antifreeze, wipers, and tires for free. We want you prepared for the open road ahead. Open 24/7 at LeMansOnline.com. You'll like the way we do business.
At Clay City Banking Company, we're all on the same team, regardless of zip code. At home, work, school, or across the country, you can be part of our team with our cutting-edge mobile banking products. From your hand, you can check balances, transfer money, make deposits, and pay bills. Looking for a loan? We've got you covered with our mortgage, agriculture, commercial, and consumer loans. Join our team today. Clay City, Flora, Louisville, and Fairfield Banking Companies. We're the hometown banks, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
Chapman's Furniture has the best prices every day. You can find them open Monday through Saturday from 9 to 5 and located at 210, 300, and 306 West Main Street in Salem. Chapman's features a full line of furniture, including Ashley Furniture, bedding by Sealy and Bimco, and the largest selection of rugs in Southern Illinois. They have a huge selection of recliners, including lift and power, and wallpaper and border in stock at closeout prices. Call 618-548-2221 for the best price around.
Briscoe Surplus Sales on the northeast edge of Flora is your one-stop do-it-all shop. Looking for rugged boots and footwear from great brands like Lacrosse, Rocky, and Carolina? They're there. How about top-notch small engine parts and service? Briscoe Surplus Sales has it. Whether you're wiring your switches or switching your wiring, Briscoe Surplus Sales has the solution and the know-how to help you get the job done right the first time. Briscoe Surplus Sales, your one-stop do-it-all shop.
It is all things new at Zimdar's Heating, Air Conditioning, and Appliance Repair. We have a new line of heating and cooling equipment and new technicians. Our new equipment line offers 24 months free financing and excellent warranty coverage. Our experienced service technicians can provide you with quality service and repairs on all brands of HVAC equipment. Zimdar's has been serving Clay County and the surrounding areas for over 23 years. The employees of Zimdar's are here to help, so call local and call Zimdar's.
Hey folks, welcome back. Big Talk with Bruce Dickey here on Wabash Catch TV. Thank you so much for tuning in today. What are we going to talk about first? Let's talk a little high school basketball. But before, I've got a few. I've got the Class 1A, 2A, and 3A rankings, and of course, one of the local teams around here is in the heavily way up high in the Class 1A rankings. We would be remiss to get into today talking about high school basketball without spending a few minutes talking about the doozy in the NTC championship game between the Dietrich and Move Maroons and the St. Anthony Bulldogs. It was on Saturday night. Ended up St. Anthony won the game by like 10 points, but it was an outstanding basketball game by all accounts. It was just terrifically played by both teams. Ryan Schmidt went crazy for the St. Anthony Bulldogs, getting over 30 points and helping propel them to the win. But of course, all anybody wanted to talk about though was the play toward the end of the game, about a minute and a half to go in the contest. Now, I've talked to people from both that are fans of both schools. I've talked to probably more people who are fans of Dietrich School than St. Anthony School. Dietrich folks, of course, thought that they thought that they got maybe the short end of the stick, whereas the folks from St. Anthony said, "Hey, look, it was a legitimate foul, and then technical foul. Well, this is just goes to show you what high school basketball does to people. It's just, I mean, you might see the same thing somebody else saw. You might see the same thing that 10 other people saw, and it might look different to you as it might have looked to the official or something like that. And the thing is, it's too bad that such a well played game ended with a kind of in the officials' hands. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying to say bad things about officials. They call them as they see them. That's fine. They do a great job. And I'm not saying a bad thing about from what I understand, the technical foul might have been unwarranted, the first one anyway. But it was a great ball game. Congratulations to the St. Anthony Bulldogs, which leads me to this. This is our friend Brett Nesto up in Northern Illinois. He has been putting together a ranking system for 25, 30 years. There are a bunch of us that used to know Nesto back in the 1990s, back on the old IHSS Illinois High School sports page, which long gone now, but it was a lot of fun. But Effingham St. Anthony still the number one team in the state. This is Class 1A. And you see why their strength of schedule is in the top 30 of the state, and their NPI, which is that's the Nesto index that he uses. That's their number 4, but they're number 1 in the rankings. And in Southern Illinois, a bunch of teams locally are involved here. You've got Altamont at number 17. You've got Dietrich at number 18. Then you have Tuscola. All those teams will be playing into the same sectional. They'll all be playing into the St. Anthony sectional here in about 3 or 4 weeks. And that's what folks are getting ready for. As this afternoon, as a matter of fact, after 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock this afternoon, the girls' regional pairings will come out, and the boys will come out next Thursday, next Friday. So it's a lot of fun. There's a look at the Class 1A. Here's what the Class 2A looks like right now. Breeze Central at 23-2. They're in the same conference with Salem. They've played a couple of times. They have beaten the tar out of Salem. That is a really, really good Breeze Central team. And then you look down, you see Peoria Manual. They've got 10 losses. Why would they be up there? Peoria Manual plays a killer schedule. They just play a great schedule. And Byron and Beecher at the undefeated, they do not play quite as good a schedule. Byron, of course, tremendously athletic school. They won Class 4A in football, and that's why they've played a little bit fewer games. But you got Tolono Unity, which will be going south. They'll be in the same sectional with Breeze Central, I believe, and you've got Tolono, the same super sectional, Tolono Unity. Then you've got Pinckneyville, which will be in that super, T-Town in that super, and T-Town will be in the same sectional also with Lawrenceville will be in the same sectional. It's going to be and then Columbia. You've got Columbia, who the Wildcats played pretty closely the last time they played a good ball game against Columbia. So that is Class 2A. I'm trying to keep everybody updated. Hope you enjoy it. Let's take a look at Class 3A. Now, a couple of weeks ago, we had the Salem tournament. East St. Louis won that Salem tournament. That's probably why they remain ahead of Centralia. Centralia there at number 10 in the 10 spot at 23-2. Their 2 losses, both in the top 20 as well. Mount Vernon and East St. Louis, the only 2 teams to beat Centralia. You see Mount Vernon there at number 17. Alney at 22-2 down there at the 22 spot. Alney is kind of kind of a conundrum because they don't play too many Class 3A teams. They'll get into that 3A postseason tournament, and it's interesting to see how that all folds together because you just never know what is going to happen in a postseason tournament when your season ends. I mean, these are kids running around in high school shorts. Their season can end on one night. They don't want it to end on one night. Who knows how they're going to play. But that is kind of an idea of high school basketball with I've got a couple others, but I don't think they turned out. There's the St. Anthony subsection, the St. Anthony sectional in Class 1A. You've got St. Anthony and Tuscola, Casey Westfield and Arcola on down that side of the list. And then in subsectional B, Altamont and Dietrich in the top 5. And Dietrich beat Altamont, I think, even before these came out. So Altamont's going to get a home regional. Edwards County going to get a regional as well. You see the rest of that here. That's 2A kind of got blocked out, and that 2A kind of got blocked out. But there you go, folks. High school basketball. Like we talked about football, the end is near for football. It's a week away. High school basketball, for most of these teams, it's about 3 weeks away, and and your enjoyment of it then too. But we'll have it on repeats. You'll be able to watch it. Let's talk NFL when we come back. You're watching Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. Back right after this. Stick around.
Hi, my name is Landon Carter, and I'm a financial consultant at Benjamin F. Edwards in Flora. Whether you're planning to send a loved one to school, preparing for retirement, or passing your wealth to the next generation, we have the knowledge and perspective to implement financial strategies that will help you move smoothly through life's transitions. Here at Edwards, our clients know that we are fully invested in their financial future. To find out more, call Duke and I invite you to give us a call at 618-508-8050. Benjamin F. Edwards, member SIPC.
When you want an honest deal and hometown service without the runaround, go to Lamont Chevrolet Chrysler in Fairfield. Let Gabe McGahey, Sheldon Bunning, Jeff Black, Dennis Downs, Matthew Rogers, or Caleb Dunn score the best deal for you on your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Parts and service departments with factory-trained technicians and express lane and state-of-the-art tire and alignment technology. Lamont's always inspects your battery, antifreeze, wipers, and tires for free. We want you prepared for the open road ahead. Open 24/7 at LeMansOnline.com. You'll like the way we do business.
For service beyond the surface, call Carter Trucking in Fairfield. Carter's trucks are ready to haul your big freight and grain. So whatever you call Jeremy Carter, the Mucho Mulcho Man, the driveway doctor, the gravel guru, the pothole pirate, the rockin' redneck, the smooth operator, the mud hole master, or the happy hauler, just call him. 842-2022 to haul your big freight, grain, and more with trucks from Carter Trucking, Williamson Drive in Fairfield.
Hey folks, welcome back. Big Talk with Bruce Dickey here on Wabash Catch TV. Take the Points edition today. Hope you're having a great day and a great week. As we'll wrap up this week, before we talk a little bit about the Super Bowl coming up next Sunday. And we'll get into it a lot more next week as we'll get into prop bets as well as all kinds of other things going on with the Super Bowl in Las Vegas. Let's talk a little bit about last Sunday. Are you still as mad or angry or perplexed as the national media was with Dan Campbell, the head coach of the Detroit Lions? I was kind of confused. I thought he was going to kick a field goal whenever he had the fourth down, and it was 4th down and 4 down at the 20-yard line. Could have kicked a field goal and tied the game. Instead, he went for it, wanted to take the lead, and that's his call. He did it twice during the game. Went for it on 4th down twice in the ball game. Missed on both. But that really didn't bother me. I mean, I'm not a Lions fan. I was rooting for the Lions to beat the Niners last week, but I'm not a Lions fan. I would have been a lot more bothered if I was a Baltimore Ravens fan. And, that's just antithetical to what the national story was this week. Everybody was going apey about Dan Campbell, the coach, not going for it, or they're going for it rather than kicking field goal. I'd have been a lot more angry if I was a Baltimore Ravens fan. Chiefs came into Baltimore, and Baltimore, who's been running the ball great all year long against a Chiefs defense that was quite vulnerable all year long to the run. They basically, and it was not a good weather day. It was a little breezy. It was a little misty, rainy type of thing, on and off. And Baltimore only scored 10 points. They lost 17-10. They just played really poorly. And then you had poor decision making by Baltimore players. You had, of course, Zay Flowers had maybe the worst 10 minutes that anybody could have, where he first picks up the penalty down there taunting. He catches a 50-yard pass and gets up and starts, me, and yelling at the player on the ground. And pushed himself off the chief player to get up. That's an easy call for an official. Back him 15 yards up. And so, you figure, they're at the 25-yard line. They'll be able to get in. They get it to Zay Flowers. He reaches for the end zone, and the Chiefs knock the ball out. Just maybe the worst 5 minutes that one player could have. Later on in the ball game, you have the MVP, who's going to be MVP of the league, Lamar Jackson. Throws into triple coverage in the end zone. And, of course, it's going to get picked. It got picked, and that ended that drive for Baltimore. A winnable game for the doggone Ravens. They let it go. How many chances are they going to get? Who knows? Baltimore's got a good team. They're a decent defense. They're a good. You've got Lamar Jackson. They ought to get there again. But that's the thing. You just never know. And if I was a Baltimore fan, I'd be a lot more ticked off about losing my game than if I was a Detroit fan. But that's just me. Here's what is coming up next weekend. Super Bowl 58. You got the big pictures there, Patrick Mahomes and Brock Purdy, and then you've got old Travis Kelce doing the dap thing, and you've got several of the outstanding. You've got Christian McCaffrey as well as Isaiah Pacheco on the Chiefs, McCaffrey on the Niners. Brandon Ayuk is number 11. George Kittle, number 85. Bosa, there's number 97. And then on the Chiefs, this is going to be in Las Vegas, so you're going to see all kinds of stuff coming up on it over the next week or so. Here's where the line is right now. Now, it started out at 2.5 Niners. It went down to +1 for the Chiefs before adjusting back up to +2 for the Chiefs. The reason I know that, I'm the ding-dong who bet at +1 because I thought it was going to keep going in the Chiefs' direction. I was trying to catch it on the way down. Now I got a bet at +1 when I ought to have +2. I'll probably get rid of it and redo it. But, I mean, that's the thing. You just never know what is going to happen. But you have the over 47.5. Kind of juiced to the under there a little bit at 47.5. I got to tell you, I think the way the Chiefs defense has been playing and the way the Chiefs are scoring, or let's put that the other way, the way the Chiefs are not scoring, I'd say the over. I don't feel good about the over. Let me put it that way, and that kind of tells you where I'm gonna put my money. I've just kind of let the cat out of the bag. But how about next year? 2025 Super Bowl's not that far away. There's your lines for next year's Super Bowl. These all look. Detroit is the number 7th pick, or tied with the Cowboys. Detroit's tied with the Cowboys. If you see something you like there, if you think the Commanders, who have a new coach today, are going to be, that's 125 to 1. The Titans under a new coach at 150 to 1. You have who's the farthest down that made the playoffs or didn't make the playoffs. You've got the Jets at 25 to 1 to win the Super Bowl. Of course, the Jets will be they'll have Aaron Rodgers for heavens knows how long next year until hopefully his ankle is better. But that's what you have. That's the NFL. We'll talk a lot more about that next week. Probably dedicate 80 or 90% of the show to the Super Bowl next week. We'll talk props, and we'll talk what the four of us are going to be betting, and we'll get to that at length. You thought I was going to say ad nauseum. Not ad nauseum, but at length here next week. You're watching Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. We're going to come right back, tell you a little bit about college basketball, and we've got a few things to talk about. Again, this is Big Talk with Bruce Dickey on Wabash Cats TV, our Take the Points edition. Be back. I got new shows next week, 2 or 3 new shows next week, so we're back in a sec. Stick around. Having car trouble, need a tow, or just some routine maintenance? Butcher Automotive in Louisville has you covered. Locally owned and operated, Butcher Automotive offers complete vehicle repair services along with tire sales and wheel alignment. They're your local hand-cooked tire and interstate battery dealer. Butcher Automotive offers free local pickup and delivery so your car can be repaired while you're at work or at home. Butcher strives to treat everyone's vehicle as their own. At Butcher Automotive, they don't want you to give them your business, they want to earn it.
Residents of the Clay County and surrounding area have relied on Clay County State Bank for sound professional service for over 100 years. With convenient lobby and drive-up hours, we are ready to serve you Monday through Saturday. We appreciate all who bank with us, and we look forward to the opportunity of working with anyone who is looking for a community bank to help with their financial needs. Give us a call at 665-3314, visit us online, or stop by and see us on the square in Louisville to experience our friendly personal service.
When you want an honest deal and hometown service without the runaround, go to Lamont Chevrolet Chrysler in Fairfield. Let Gabe McGahey, Sheldon Bunning, Jeff Black, Dennis Downs, Matthew Rogers, or Caleb Dunn score the best deal for you on your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Parts and service departments with factory-trained technicians and express lane and state-of-the-art tire and alignment technology. Lamont's always inspects your battery, antifreeze, wipers, and tires for free. We want you prepared for the open road ahead. Open 24/7 at LaMonsOnline.com. You'll like the way we do business.
I thought I'd lost my business in that fire, but my agent was there before the flames were out. He said, together, we're going to rebuild. Our employees depended on it. My independent agent and auto owners made sure we didn't skip a beat. I mean, we didn't miss a single payroll.
For whatever lies ahead, we're always there. Auto Owners Insurance. North Wayne Insurance Agency in Flora is your local independent auto owners insurance agency.
Welcome back, Big Talk with Bruce Dickey here on this beautiful Friday, February 2nd. If the groundhog gets out of the ground today, he's going to see a shadow, and there'll be 6 more weeks of winter. That's for sure. Hope you get out and enjoy the sun. It's a lot better than all that rain and mist and fog and goo we had last weekend. So get out and enjoy it. What is going on in college basketball? Well, of course, we are... As I talk about high school basketball ending, you realize high school basketball typically ends about the same weekend as the major tournaments in the conference tournaments. I don't think that's the case this year. I think the conference tournaments in college basketball have all been moved back a week because they moved the whole NCAA tournament back a week. For instance, if you're used to enjoying the Final Four on, let's see, the way the weekend falls, it'll be the 30th is Saturday, the 1st is Monday. Rethink that. They've moved it the week later. It's August 6th, April 6th through April 8th. The championship game is on April 8th, same night as same day as the eclipse will be coming through. So keep that in mind for your planning purposes. The reason I bring all that up is because, well, it's that time of year where people turn their heads when there's less football on TV. They're turning their heads to other sports, college basketball, professional basketball. Here is who is doing well in college basketball. Minnesota rolling along at 17-3, 85% against the spread for the Golden Gophers. They are just outperforming expectations exponentially. You're doing a beautiful job. Same thing with the Richmond Spiders. They're a fine team out there in they're in the A-10. They were picked this season to be in last place of the Atlantic 10 Conference, and they have shown up and played terrifically well over the course of the season in the A-10. Who else on that top list? The best teams against the spread: Southern Utah. You've got Texas A&M Corpus Christi. And Eastern Washington. Eastern Washington, kind of a fun one that a lot of people have been keeping an eye on. Eastern Washington probably going to win their conference or win their conference tournament. It'll be I think it's not the Mountain West, but one of those Western Big Sky conferences that only get one pick into the tournament. A lot of folks keeping an eye on Eastern Washington. Who you want to avoid? And by the way, I bet against Minnesota the other day. Paid for it. They're 85% for a reason. Who's not doing well? Winning only 20% against the spread. Old Dominion and the Pacific Tigers, and Old Dominion. What is Old Dominion? I'm having a brain cramp. They are not doing well. That's the Detroit Mercy. Used to be Detroit Mercy. Now they're University of Detroit. The Titans. Stonehill. I don't even know where that is. And Arkansas. But Arkansas had that going into last week. Arkansas was only was 4 and what was it here? 4-11. 4-15 going into earlier this week. They picked up their 5th win. How do I know this? They beat Missouri against the spread. They beat Missouri. Actually, they were a underdog, 6-point underdog to Missouri at Columbia. They turned around and beat them in Columbia, and I got well on that. You know my rule: no Missouri. Who is doing the best over/under over the course of the season to this point? You've got Niagara and UD. Denver is playing very well. Wright State. And how about the University of Kentucky? They played a game on Wednesday night. You might have seen it. It was the highest over-under, I think, of the year so far, because it was Kentucky versus Florida. The over-under was set at 175. You know how many points people have to score to make 175 the over-under? They have to win like 90 to 85. That went to overtime at, I think, 93 apiece. So they blew past the number. Kentucky is just fun to watch, and they've got a new shooter in Kentucky, so that is a good, fun team to watch. San Jose State, the Spartans, having a good year as well against the over 14-5. Who is not scoring points? Well, a lot of teams that are struggling on their regular record as well as their over/under record. You can bet under on these teams and win just as easily as you can bet over on the other guys. If you're successful, look at that. The Western Illinois 4-13. They no longer the Leathernecks. They're always the Leathernecks. Maybe that's the Leatherneck. Maybe the Leatherneck Bulldog with a leather collar. Must be. Dartmouth, you've got Notre Dame under new coaching this year. Vanderbilt, just not playing well. And poor old Eastern Illinois, our good friends up the way at Charleston, having a difficult time. So there you have the college basketball squads. I was going to kick in the NHL since they're on the All-Star break, but let's take a couple of minutes to look at the NHL records as they go into the break. Here's the Eastern Conference, where you would have you've got the top three teams to get in, and then the two wild cards. So you'd have the Bruins, the Panthers, the Lightning, the Leafs, and the Wings all getting into the playoffs. The Rangers, the Hurricanes, and Flyers as well at this point. And then out west, the Blues would qualify for a playoff spot right now. Tied with Nashville for the last spot. But Nashville has 2 games more played. So the Blues have 2 games in hand as we enter the second half of the season. Call it the second half of the season. They only have 30 games to go. But they have skills competition is tonight on ESPN. That's why they had nothing going on in college basketball or pro basketball on ESPN. It's the skills competition for the NHL at the All-Star game. So enjoy that, and we're going to take a quick break. Come back, talk a little NBA. When we return, you're watching Big Talk with Bruce Dickey on Wabash Catch TV. Back right after these. Stick around.
Fashion is our passion at Carnaby Square. We specialize in customer service and have since 1980. Our multi-generational boutique features your favorite on-trend to classic Famous Maker fashions, footwear, accessories, and a massive inventory at Brighton. So come, relax, explore, and elevate your look with us. Everyone is welcome, where we always wrap it, tag it, and bag it for free at Carnaby Square in downtown Fairfield.
Briscoe Surplus Sales on the northeast edge of Flora is your one-stop do-it-all shop. Looking for rugged boots and footwear from great brands like Lacrosse, Rocky, and Carolina? They're there. How about top-notch small engine parts and service? Briscoe Surplus Sales has it. Whether you're wiring your switches or switching your wiring, Briscoe Surplus Sales has the solution and the know-how to help you get the job done right the first time. Briscoe Surplus Sales, your one-stop do-it-all shop.
Napa know-how.
At Flora Auto Parts, you can count on the Napa know-how experts to have the solutions to keep you running on the road or in the field. More than just your car, your locally owned Napa store carries a large inventory of parts for farms, heavy trucks, and just about everything that moves. Experienced counter people understand your needs and are ready to help with the perfect part at a great value. That's Napa know-how at Flora Auto Parts.
When you want an honest deal and hometown service without the runaround, go to Lamont Chevrolet Chrysler in Fairfield. Let Gabe McGahey, Sheldon Bunning, Jeff Black, Dennis Downs, Matthew Rogers, or Caleb Dunn score the best deal for you on your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Parts and service departments with factory-trained technicians and express lane and state-of-the-art tire and alignment technology. Lamont always inspects your battery, antifreeze, wipers, and tires for free. We want you prepared for the open road ahead. Open 24/7 at LeMansOnline.com. You'll like the way we do business.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back, Big Talk with Bruce Dickey here on Wabash Catch TV, our weekly Take the Points edition today. Just me, as you see, the other seat is unoccupied this morning or afternoon, if you're however you're watching. Again, we do appreciate you tuning in. Mentioned high school basketball. We're going to be in Sisney tonight against Woodlawn. Sisney takes on Woodlawn, Midland Trail Conference matchup, and then also in Salem tonight as the Freeburg Midgets take on Salem. Freeburg with a new coach. I'm not sure who's coaching them now. Is Matt Lauer now at Pinckneyville. Left. I'm wearing a Pinckneyville color now that I think about it. But how about the NBA, folks? Who is doing well in the NBA? Here are the best teams against the spread this season so far. You've got Oklahoma City, who is just playing terrifically well all season. Basically, the teams who are in first place and playing very well. The Pacers have kind of come down to earth. They used to be up there but they've kind of come back down to earth a little bit as gamblers in Vegas has kind of figured out what their capabilities are. The NBA worst teams against the spread by a mile. It's the Hawks. If you feel like betting against the team, bet against the Hawks. They are a team in trouble. They've got coaching issues. They've got players who don't want to be there. They've got players who don't want to play. Atlanta's just a mess right now. You've got the Hornets from Charlotte. Kind of a no-brainer. They've always been a poor. Phoenix Suns, that's kind of course, indicative of they were expected to be a lot better this year. They have been battling huge injuries all season long. The Bucks, the Bucks and the Heat both not doing well against the spread. Of course, the Bucks, they replaced their coach, Doc Rivers, the new head coach for the Milwaukee Bucks, and that. Who knows what that's going to do? If that's going to set them loose, turn them loose, I can't tell you. Over under the best teams. Over Warriors can score, folks. That's just the thing. And the Pacers are up there on the scoring thing. I was kind of surprised to see the 76ers on the best over under because they play very good, solid defense. But they score points, I guess, too. How about who's doing the best under? If you want to bet the unders, this is their over record. So against the spread or under, the Nuggets are 30-18. That means the Nuggets are playing some defense. And the champs, if the champs are playing defense and they've got the best player in the league, it might be a long May and July for the rest of the league. The Grizzlies under. You just never know who's going to play for the Grizzlies. Right now, I saw the list of Grizzlies before their game. I think it was Monday night. They had 9 players on their out list. They only play with 15 on a roster. They had 9 out, unable to play, and had brought in a few others to load up. But what do you do? Same thing. The Knicks just play defense, folks. The Knicks play great defense. So the Heat. That's impressive. The Heat on the best under as well as on the worst ATS. So that kind of gives you an idea of where the NBA is right now in betting. How about where they are as the playoff outlook? Here's the East. You've got the Celtics on top. The Bucks, even though they were number 2 whenever they fired their coach, they're still number 2. Who fires a coach at number 2? Well, Milwaukee does. And whenever Giannis Antetokounmpo says, "Yeah, I don't like this coach. It's time to have him go," they listen to him. I'm not sitting here telling you that that's right. But that's just what they did. For you see the Knicks are in good shape. You've got then down there the play-in games. The Bulls would get into the play-in tournament. I don't know if they'd get by the Heat and the Magic, but who knows. And then you take a look at the West. The LA Lakers barely in to the West with the 2 best, with one, or let's call them 2 of the best players in the NBA, LeBron James and Anthony Davis. That's just sad that the Lakers are under 500 and 10.5 games back. The Minnesota Timberwolves have been playing outstanding basketball all season long. They and Oklahoma City both up there near the top, and I wouldn't be surprised if they stayed up there. They're both terrifically talented teams, and they're young. It's just kind of it's of course now. Granted, there's 30 games left to play here in the NBA as well. So these things are going to change a bit over the next several weeks, but. I don't know, man. Oklahoma City looks like they're really good, and the Timberwolves are playing tough too. And then you got the champs. Out West is looking pretty good. Hey, thank you so much for tuning in today, and enjoy the college basketball weekend. We'll have the huge Super Bowl preview next week. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time on Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. Have a great weekend.